all three of us brothers, and of course, Vidya has had her own path, and Siddharth has had his own journey, and Aditya has had. So all of us have had our own sort of individual journeys into the industry. For a lead romantic hero, yes, there is a certain requirement of a mold that is still what we perceive, but I still think
Mm-hmm.
that it would be interesting to cast people who don't fit that mold. All the different relationships have their own problems and complexities. That's why I felt that it was
Yeah.
something that I could bring something to.
Hi, my name is Surbi, and today we have with us Aadha Ishq on Voot. Aadha Ishq star Kunal Roy Kapur. A very warm welcome, Kunal, to Entertainment Reports. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Most welcome. It's my pleasure, Kunal. Firstly, I would like to know that Aadha Ishq trailer is beautiful. Like the background score, the music, the cast, everybody is good looking. Fortunately, and like of course we've seen you rock the screens. In all forms. Like in all possible forms. So tell me something about your role and what intrigues you to do Aadha Ishq.
I play a character called Milim, and
Okay.
he's Roma's husband. Roma is sort of like a central character in the whole piece that's played by
Yes.
Amna, and
Hmm.
so they probably got married at a very young age, and
Okay.
they had a child when they were very young, maybe early 20s, and
Hmm.
and they're sort of estranged now. So we see
Okay.
their daughter is a teenager now, and
Hmm.
uh, and their relationship is completely gone down the drain. And
Hmm.
he's someone who has held a lot of resentment. He has a lot of remorse about his relationship, about his the souring of that whole experience with
Hmm.
Roma. And
Hmm.
the only reason he's keeping things sort of quiet
Yes.
and
Yes.
with all this stuff bubbling under the surface is because of their daughter,
Hmm.
who kind of lives between the two of them. She lives with both of them. There's no this
Okay.
thing. So he's sort of not letting people get on with their lives. Basically,
Hmm.
he's someone who's kind of stuck in the past. He's kind of holding a grudge,
Okay.
holding stuff against Roma as well. So that's the character, and the character is pretty much the reason why I was intrigued to do Aadha Ishq, because generally it's not a kind of role that would come my way. It's not the kind
Yes.
of role
Yes.
that Whereas I've done many different types of roles, but this is something
Hmm.
which is a little more brooding, which is a little bit more gray.
Mature.
He's
Yeah.
all mature in the sense that he's also got his own frailties and problems,
Hmm.
and uh, he's not the nicest guy. He's not a.
Okay.
I mean, he's a good father, but he's not a
Yeah.
like you. You kind of empathize with him, but he's not. He's not a. He's not a very nice guy. I wouldn't say he's a nice guy.
Okay.
So that was also something that's different for me to do. Something that's
Yes.
out of my sort of zone, and
Yeah.
that's why I was intrigued that they came to me with Aadha Ishq firstly, and that even Voot and 24 Frames had the sort of vision to say, okay, let's use Kunal in a different way, and that
Yeah.
is something that I'm more than happy to be a part of. To try and
Yeah.
experiment and push and do something that's out of the zone that I'm generally more accustomed to doing. And Aadha Ishq itself, the relationships, all the different relationships have their own problems and complexities. That's why I felt that it was
Yes.
something that I could bring something to, and that's
Mhm.
why I jumped on board.
We are glad that you did. Also, talking about doing different things, like we know that you have literally broken and quashed stereotypes of people being in the industry and of being of a certain shape. If you want to rock it, you have rocked in all forms.
Thank you,
Like
thank you.
we've seen Kunal Roy Kapur like super fit, and then we've seen not so fit, then also rocking, and then now again fit, and then now also he's like going on and on. So I would really want to know do you think that, if you are in the industry, you have to be of a certain shape, that thing still exists in the industry?
See, for a lead romantic hero, yes, there is a certain requirement of a mold that is still what we perceive, But I still think
Mm-hmm.
that it would be interesting to cast people who don't fit that mold, even in a romantic
Yeah,
role or in an
exactly. Yeah.
action role. Like for me, I would love to do an action film. Like I just think that
Yeah.
why do only fit people have to do action? Why
Yes.
why
Yes.
like to find no like just average looking people doing action is actually more fun because it's
You are
out
not
of their
average looking, dude.
no average as an average body, yeah, come on,
Yeah.
this is a completely
Yeah.
average kind of guy. I'm average looking also, but what I'm
No,
saying is that
you're
to
good
have
looking.
people
Yeah.
thank you but to have that, those, as you're saying, those body types, those kind of people who
Yeah.
I think it would be quite exciting to watch that those people also do
Yes.
action because it's not like you wouldn't expect that out of those this thing, and the situation
Yeah.
would be that much more exciting, that much more relatable in some ways.
Yes.
So
A lot.
so that's why I think that those molds do exist in our industry to some extent. Um, but I think that now with OTT, there are character actors who carry full shows, and they're not traditionally good-looking people. I mean, they're attractive in
Yeah.
other ways, but they're not traditionally what we call film star-looking people. But they're actors, they're character actors, and they carry a full show.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's because of the strength of the characters that they're able to do that, and the strength of the writing that they're able to do that. And I think
Yeah.
that is the interesting shift that we're seeing even in audience tastes, even in when we're saying our Hindi speaking audience, even their tastes have evolved to saying that because now this last 2 years we've been watching so much OTT stuff where our
ये
tastes
actor
now are,
अच्छा है. Yes.
ये actor
They're
अच्छा
more
है, ये कहानी
content
अच्छी
driven.
है. Yeah,
हाँ.
totally. So I think even the films that will work will be the ones which are, strong, content-driven, not necessarily. So let's see how it goes. I think that there's constantly this breaking of molds that happens every now and then, but there will always be that one conventional norm. You'll always have the Tom Cruises of the world and the this thing who are needed and who have their place and who are the ideal looking guys. Like we need that as well, but we also need to break to create a
Yes.
subgenre, so that is also fun.
I think all the genres are broken, like all the stereotype genres are broken. I think only an action part, which you very rightly said, is left, which we will, I'm sure, break. Actors 100%. Like you will break very, very soon. That's on OTT.
I hope so. Thank you.
Yes, fingers crossed. Also, talking about OTT, I think OTT, again, as you very rightly said, has revived and of course, given an opportunity, exposure to a lot of other actors, who would have otherwise not even thought that, they would play a single lead, carry the entire show or the movie, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So do you think OTT also is a 2.0 version of your career?
Yeah, in a way, definitely. I think, I've been doing stuff on OTT platforms for a while or web shows, and I think that it does give character actors and actors. I hate saying character actors, but I'm saying it does give actors an opportunity to really sink their teeth into a part and really help carry a show or help build a character that people fall in love with over the course of a full season, over a course of multiple seasons. So that has really helped a lot of actors to because and at some level the quality standards of OTT are still better than television.
Yes.
And why I say that with all due respect to television is because of the turnaround times and the limited number of shows, the limited number of episodes. Television is under the pressure to perform too many episodes, this thing, and the hit that it faces is on a writing level, on an execution level, and that's why we feel television is where it's at. But with OTT, I think because you're able to take that little extra time and you're able to condense all these things into 8 episodes, 10 episodes, whatever it is, you're able to give it that, that respect and that scale.
Yeah, that crisp also,
So
only a
that's
director could talk about it, like this actually, all of that points that you're mentioning actually come, it seems, and it shows clearly that it is coming out of somebody who's very experienced in both acting and direction. Talking about Aadha Ishq, I would really want to know, suppose like a hypothetical question. Suppose you're a 20-year-old and you
Mhm.
have fallen into a one-sided love or Aadha Ishq with a girl.
Hmm.
What would be the craziest way to propose to her? Which you would do, like a 20-year-old Kunal Roy Kapur would do.
Well, a 20-year-old Kunal Roy Kapur, I was doing a lot of stage at the time. So I
Okay.
think that I would propose to her from the stage. That would be
Wow.
like in some sly way, I would work it into a scene that I am proposing, but I would be looking at her who's hopefully in the audience, and I would
Hmm.
propose to her, and it would be a stage proposal because I was like a full dramebaz. So I think that that would add to the romance of it. And suddenly there would be one spotlight on her and one spotlight on me, and then there would
Wow.
be this. And at the end of it, she would probably say no, but still at least it would make a romantic moment.
How romantic! Not everybody has the courage, to know. I
Yeah.
mean, dude, she would not say no, but whatever. Not everybody has the courage to
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
express, in public, especially. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
So
I'm saying
again,
that as a 40 year
yeah.
old me, but as a 20-year-old, if you had asked me, I probably would have chickened out. But as a as a much older man, I can say with a lot of
Yeah.
confidence that, yeah, I'd be able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, hypothetical question. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really works. So, Kunal, there's another thing that, in the film industry that, the family you belong to brings a lot of baggage. Of course, it has a lot of advantages, but at the same time, it brings a lot of baggage as well. And thanks to social media, there are so many people and everybody has their own opinions and they literally throw it on you no matter what. So, has there been a point in life, when that you felt that baggage? You've been a very chilled out person and that shows, in all your work that you've been doing, that, what, I don't care. I want to do what I want to do. And I really don't give a damn. But at some point of time, sometimes to some people, it really gets onto them. So has there been a situation like that for you?
Um, no, not really. I think I think all of us are very secure in the journey that we have had into the industry. All
Mm,
of us, I mean, all three of us brothers, and of course, Vidya has
mm,
had her own path, and Siddharth has had his own journey, and Aditya has had. So all of us have had our own sort of individual journeys into the industry,
mm,
our own sort of trajectories, and our own sort of graphs through the industry, and we're all very
mm.
secure about this is my journey, this is how I have made it into the industry. So like
Nice.
whatever anyone says doesn't really matter, because ultimately what can hurt you the most is the truth, and we all know the
Yes.
truth, and the truth doesn't hurt. So that's why we're most comfortable with it, because we know what our journey has been and what our own sort of trajectories have been, and as long as you're secure and happy with that, I don't think anyone saying anything really is just water of a duck's back, because it doesn't make one bit of a
Wow.
difference. I mean, see, people are free to have opinions and
Yeah.
thoughts and ideas and say whatever they want, but 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 what your greatest strength is always the truth, and I think that
Mm.
that is where everyone finds their strength.
All the best to you. Looking forward to
Thank
meet you
you.
more often. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely. Bye, Survi.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. See you.